Evan, do you remember France is back in 2017, 2018, when Emmanuel Macron came into the Élysée Palace? I wonder, did Joe Biden not steal Emmanuel Macron's diplomatic slogan? In any case, America is back. Certainly a more diplomatic approach to foreign relations signalled by that speech, Kerevan.
Yes, because the next part of that sentence, America is back, diplomacy is back. That was the main message of Joe Biden, because for him, America can only be back at the top of that world table if it uses diplomacy. He talked about that diplomatic muscle that had been abused throughout these 4 years of Donald Trump, or maybe not been used enough in his point of view. And he feels that this is what America knows how to do, using its diplomatic skills to try to put some order in the world. That's at least how the Americans view it. They feel that America needs to retake that position as the leader of the free world, and the fact that he's focused on diplomacy doesn't mean that he doesn't want to be firm. And that's really what the message of Joe Biden is, especially to some of his adversaries like Russia or China. He really made it clear that while he is willing to use all the diplomatic means to try to negotiate with Russia, with China, and with others in places where he feels that it is in the interest of the United States, he gave the example of the new START nuclear arms treaty that was just extended, a negotiation with the Russians, a deal with the Russians. He also said that if diplomatic skills or diplomatic options don't work, he is willing to take a little bit of a tougher stance. And he made it very clear on Russia, for example, when he said that when he spoke with Vladimir Putin, he spoke in a very different manner from his predecessor. That's how he put it. And he made it clear to Russia that the days of the U.S. rolling over in the face of Russian aggressive actions were over, and he threatened to raise the cost for Russia. That said, this is all rhetoric. So far, we don't know what that means. What is that cost? Is he willing to put in sanctions? So there was a lot of talk, not too many specifics, but it is a change of style, a change of tone, and a change of how America views its role in the world.
And there was also a shift in position on Yemen, Kerevan. Previously, we know that there was support from Washington under the Trump administration for the Saudi-led war in Yemen. That seems to have changed.
Yes, because Joe Biden announced or confirmed something that had been announced earlier today, that his administration was going to stop all American support for offensive operations in the war in Yemen, and that includes arms sales, and that means that includes arms sales to Saudi Arabia. So all the arms sales to Saudi Arabia that are linked to the war in Yemen will be halted from the U.S. Point of view, and that's very significant because, of course, we know that the Trump administration was very close to Saudi Arabia, really saw Saudi Arabia as its main partner in the region, and was really set to sell a lot of arms to Saudi Arabia. And this time, Joe Biden is distinguishing two things. He's stopping those arms sales, but at the same time, and pretty much in the same sentence, he said that the U.S. would continue its support for Saudi Arabia to defend itself against outside aggressors. And he mentioned in that sentence, he mentioned Iran. So it shows that the U.S. is reassessing its relationship with Saudi Arabia. It is still seen as a key U.S. ally in the region, but the Americans are no longer willing to give a free pass to the Saudis and to do and go along with all that the Saudis want. And that is something that Joe Biden has said right before the November election in a statement marking the anniversary of the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, that journalist who was killed by the Saudis. And he had said at the time that the U.S. was no longer going to check its values at the door to sell arms or buy oil. And that was clearly directed at the Saudis. And this is something that the Americans, the Biden administration feels that it is starting to do with with these operations in Yemen.
The US is no longer going to check its values at the door. Thank you for that, Ketevan Gorgistani in Washington. America is back, said Joe Biden earlier this evening, at least in its diplomatic tenor and tone.